Hey guys, so it looks like Grinding Gear Games has continued to work on Path of Exile 2 and are going to be implementing patch 0.40D. And this patch is deceptively huge, and I'll explain that in a little bit. Now, on its surface, it looks like there's a lot of minor improvements, general changes, overall a lot of QOL stuff, which I'll go over kind of the important stuff. But within the bug fixes, there are some huge implications for what's going to happen to the economy in Path of Exile 2 right now. So let's dive right into it, right? So at the top, we have a lot of changes to the league itself and improvements. So they are now improving Holton with the placement of the league mechanic and re-enabling it so that we can actually get the crystals again, right? So it's basically they're fixing Holton because they disabled it earlier and now they're re-enabling it. And then there's a lot of kind of like minor changes here and there with like, at series boss fight now can, if you die, it's going to make you respawn in the temple with nothing, kind of like how maps are like, and at series room is now connecting to any room, right? All these are kind of little minor changes, but we are getting quite a few changes to kind of the new player experience for Temple, which is something that I think I have been asking for a lot, and a lot of the other content creators have been asking for as well. So now the temple requires a minimum of one room place before opening. So basically you can't run a temple without having a room place, which a lot of people were getting confused about. And if you want to bypass this, you can, right? And then they've added information here about adding user feedback on temple if there is a room that is complete or unreachable. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but I'm assuming this is all in line with making things more clear. But this is the change that I think is going to be the biggest one. And I think this is really awesome. And we've been asking for it for a while, right? The updated the information on rooms when hovered in the temple map to show possible upgrades. What I think this is, and what I hope this is going to be helping explain how to actually upgrade the rooms without actually having some sort of bigger cheat sheet. I know a lot of people have been using this right here for their information on how to build their temple, which is absolutely amazing. This has been made very, very well. And look, there's 77,000 views on this, but this is a third-party resource at the end of the day that we have to take a look at. It would be very nice, especially for a casual/new player, to be able to just see all this in game. So hopefully this means that we are going to be able to see this in game pretty much. It's not going to be the whole chart laid out, but at least we'll be able to more easily figure out what connects to what and what upgrades what with this change. So we'll have to see how this is actually implemented, but that's definitely a really good change. Same with right here, adding a description of how to actually unlock at series chamber, and then talk about what destabilization actually is. All this stuff is really, really good for the new player experience, in my opinion. And there's a couple more things right here, but I don't think that's too important. You can read that on your own. Now, in here on the general changes, there's kind of a lot of QOL stuff again that I think is interesting, but not really that important. There's a lot of kind of QOL stuff here that just makes things a little bit better for anybody who is trying to, I guess, understand the game a little bit more. But they also adjusted the Trial of Chaos. They overall reduced the damage of the bird. Thank God. This guy is still OP, and I don't know, I have a feeling he might still be OP even after these changes. And then they buffed the Chimera boss. I'm not sure why they did that, but interesting. And they buffed Quadrillas too. All right. Well, these are just kind of monster buffs. And then they have finally addressed the Fairgrave's bow. This has been a problem for a long time that people have been complaining about, that they've been wanting to see some change. And we've finally seen that to, get fixed. But that, again, all QOL, all nice stuff. But the biggest thing is down here. So in the bug fixes is where everything is that is going to have a huge impact on the economy. So, or potential huge impact. So right here, they have fixed an issue where the immured fury wouldn't spawn. So if you guys don't know, in the fractured areas or the cleansed areas, there's a boss called Immured Fury. And that boss specifically always drops fracturing orbs. So if you want to get a fracturing orb, you go to the cleanse areas. You get them randomly every now and then. But this Immured Fury boss that would appear in your maps, and it would say on the map itself, like in the area, when you hover over it says Immured Fury will spawn here, right? When you kill that boss, it gives you a guaranteed fracturing orb. And that boss has not been spawning, which is one of the reasons why we have seen a huge spike in the price of fracturing orbs in Path of Exile 2. So we'll take a look at the Ninja page for economy, right? We can see that the fracturing orb has been going up in price like crazy, right? I'm sure you guys have all observed it. But now the price is finally going down, which is a good thing for the game, in my opinion. Now, I personally invested in fracturing orbs because it was going up and up and up and up. I was like, all right, great money, right? But now I have sold all my fracturing orb stocks because it is going back down. I think last I checked, it was like 20 divs per fracturing orb, which I don't know if it's going to continue going down more or if it's going to go up. I think it might level out. It might continue going down over the next couple days, but when the change actually comes, I think it might go back up because I still don't think that fracturing orbs is going to be that common because of the fact that not many people are running maps. But still, this does have a huge impact on the economy, and fracturing orbs are going to be now a lot easier to get, which is a good thing. So anybody who has invested in fracturing orbs, be sure to liquidate your fracturing orbs because they're going to be going down. But yeah, that is a huge thing that is going to be changing with the economy. But the other thing that I think is also potentially huge is a change to how the Abyss Atlas is going to work. Now, this one right here fixed a bug where the Atlas passive nodes for increasing the chance of spawning monsters loyal to Aminamu and Ulamon boosted the other faction. And we all kind of had this feeling, right? We were like, we put our point into this Ulamon node that's supposed to boost Ulamon spawns and effectiveness, but it seems like we're getting more Aminamu mobs. And it looks like GG has finally come out and confirmed that this was actually the case. And now they are flipping it so that, or not flipping it, but changing it and fixing it so that it properly does the correct thing. Monsters loyal to Aminamu mod will finally spawn Aminamu mobs, and Ulamon will finally spawn Ulamon as opposed to the other way around. But this actually does have a huge implication to the economy because everybody has been using the Ulamon boosted, which gives you effectiveness, and it also spawns more Aminamu mobs, which is the main farm for Abyss right now. People are farming Aminamu mobs, Aminamu's Void mobs specifically, for Omens of Light and Abyssal Echoes. And before, effectiveness was the way that we were boosting that as well. So it was kind of like a win-win. You wanted the effectiveness and you wanted the Aminamu mobs, so you took that one. But now it's split into two, where if you want to have more effectiveness, you're going to be spawning more Ulamon mobs. But if you want more Aminamu mobs, you're going to have to be getting rid of that effectiveness in exchange for more desecrated currency, which isn't like the worst thing in the world, to be honest. But at the same time, the effectiveness was definitely better for getting those higher value omens. So we'll have to see how much of an effect this actually has on the Omen of Light farm, which is what I've been doing. And last night I had a night where I made like 500 divs just off of Omens of Light, which was absolutely insane. So we'll see where this goes and what this has to do and what this does to the economy. But yeah, there's more other stuff here that's more like, bug fixes, QOL, whatever it might be. I'll let you guys read those on your own, but those are really the big things that I would say that are coming in this patch in, I don't know, probably later this week, next week, something like that. Yeah, coming this week. So, yep. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this patch rundown and summary. If you did, let me know down in the comment section below, as well as what you think about these changes. And if you can go ahead and press the sub button, I really appreciate it. It lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and it also helps the channel out a ton. I'll stream every single night on twitch.tv/MeSoXShrew. So come hang out there with me. But if not, hopefully I see y'all on the next video. All right, guys. Peace.